Mulukhia trip at Chester Farm. August 4, we'll be having a kids author visit, and August 7, a men's bonfire night. We host regular events throughout the year and programs. If you go to our website, you'll find out more about all of this. This is not the first time we've been partnered with the More Professionals or the South Paterson Association, but we're very excited about tonight's event and hope it's one of many more fruitful partnerships. So I'd like to introduce Yasmin. Oh, and also thank you to Manikish, Takwa House, Slotburger, Yafa, and Hadas for all providing complimentary food and drinks for tonight. And I also want to shout out a thing called Kahwa. They are five sisters from the community that have coffee and refreshments, so they are selling tonight. Please be sure to support all of them. I know Manakish's red opening is happening soon, so you should definitely go. Tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow. Okay. All right. Without further ado, Yasmin.
Thank you. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Yasmin Abu Quaik from Ummah Professionals. For those who don't know, Ummah Professionals is a nonprofit organization that offers professional development services and resources to help students and young professionals advance in their careers. So for those interested in our services, we have a table right by the door. So we're very excited to be partnering with PAC and the South Paterson Business Association for this event. And with us here today is Abdel Nasser Hamdan, attorney, real estate developer, and entrepreneur; Hazm Ijbara, restaurateur and entrepreneur; Dr. Samir Zana, family medicine physician; Kevin Amin, CPA business advisor; and Ibrahim Isa, architect. So we're going to have time for Q&A. So I'm just going to start off with the panel questions, and then we'll open the floor. So the first question, and then I'll be passing this mic, and then you guys can just pass around there. Can you please introduce yourself, educational and professional background, what you do today, and something you enjoy outside of work? And I'll hand it to you.
Should I start?
Yeah, you can start, yeah.
So, assalamu alaikum, everyone. And thanks for having me and the rest of the panel. It's such an honor to be with such distinguished people from the community who give back so much to the community and sitting right here at PAC. I think the question was to introduce myself and to...
Your education, what you do today, and what you do outside of work.
Okay, awesome. So my name is Abdel Nasser Hamdan. I'm a lifelong New Jersey resident. I was born and raised in the city of Paterson. I have a law degree from Seton Hall Law School. I currently am a managing member at a law practice that I own with my friend who's sitting in the audience, Akram Al-Saidi. It's called Al-Saidi and Hamdan LLP. I also, in addition to practicing law, I started kind of a little bit later in life with my law practice or getting my law degree. I'm a real estate developer. You probably see my signs if you drove through Paterson. You see Hamdan Building and Development. And this is kind of what I do on a day-to-day basis. Is very much, it's more intricate, and I think we'll get into that later on in terms of details of what I do. Outside of my professional life, it's my greatest joy. I have a wife and 5 children, and I very much enjoy being with them. I have 21 nieces and nephews, my mother, and if I'm not working, I'm home or doing something with the family. So alhamdulillah, I'm blessed in that sense. And I think I answered all the questions. I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah.
All right, good. I'll pass it along.
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على المرسلين محمد خاتم النبيين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وتقاعد على الدين آمين. My name is Kevin Dawood Amin. I'm a certified public accountant by employment. I've been in business about 30 years. I used to have an office on Main Street in Paterson for about 10 years. Currently, my office is in Montclair. I specialize in tax, accounting, audit, and also consulting. I have a background. I have a BA from the University of Minnesota in liberal arts. It turned out my major was in English education, where I worked a couple of years before I went back to the professional accounting program, MBA accounting program at Rutgers. After that, I worked at in the financial services division of the New York office of Arthur Anderson. Arthur Anderson at that time was the largest firm in the country. So I had a chance to get a lot of experience there. Some of my clients were the American Cancer Society, Solomon Brothers, Chris Kraft, Colgate, Smith Barney, and in fact I did Solomon Brothers twice. and where I worked in the audit department. After that, I started my own firm, and I specialize in the things that I said earlier. So I'm happy to be here with some of the, I know a lot of the people here in the audience, as well as some people on the panel. It's good to be here, and I look forward to any questions you may have in the background of someone doing professional accounting and having a CPA degree. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Hazim Jbara. I own and operate food and dessert shop chains, a husband, father, high school diploma, and a college dropout. Not proud of it. Not proud of it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Excellent.
My name is Samir Zaina, primary care physician, family medicine board certified. Been practicing in Paterson for the last 12 years as a primary care provider. Born and raised in Ariha, Palestine. Worked at Al Maqasid Hospital. Graduated with Cuban State Medical Academy with honor degree. Worked at Al Maqasid Hospital, Augusta Victoria Hospital, Muttala. Came to the United States in 2005. Continue my education at Mount Sinai School of Medicine with the residence program at St. Joseph Hospital. Father of 5 children. I have one wife. I am currently serving the community in Paterson, proudly doing so. Thank you.
I can have that back. Yeah, I can have that back. Yeah, you could just put it. Thank you.
My name is Ibrahim Isa. I'm an architect. Graduated from the New Jersey Institute of Technology in 2013. Became a licensed architect in 2017, and I opened my own firm in 2021. Most of my work as an architect is primarily single and multi-family homes, but I do everything. Outside of work, other than having the best wife ever, best kids ever, my passion is working on cars. For anybody interested, I can talk your ear off for hours about the projects that I'm doing. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes, big clap for you, Dad.
Thank you. Okay. So, what inspired you to pursue your career path, and what motivated you to start your own business? So, we'll start from Ibrahim this time. Sorry.
No, of course.
So this is an interesting one. What got me on the architecture path, being realistic, I was 17 years old at the time. I don't know if I really made a decision for myself, in all honesty. It was my dad that exposed me to the world as a civil engineer. He had me do a couple of drafting projects for him. And I really liked the level of precision that was required to produce those drawings. And it was something that brought me a lot of joy. So I started my architecture degree at NJIT, and I quickly realized that whether I wanted to be an architect or not, going through with it would be to my advantage, because an architecture degree teaches you primarily how to problem solve, how to think outside the box, how to figure things out. So I kept with it. Once I graduated, I decided to keep on with it, and I got my license at 17.
Thank you.
This is an interesting question. So I was 5 years old. My father died from leukemia. Leaving 6 children, 28-year-old mom. So at that time I was 4 years old. So that's the first exposure to the disease, and that shifted my life. Growing up, my father died. I used to ask my mom, why my father died. She said, I keep on listening. So what's that mean for me? It's an enemy that I need to fight. Grew up, graduated high school, my uncle, my father helped to get his degree and pursue his career. He became a PhD in healthcare. architecture engineering. Came out of aviation. That was the idea for me. It was very successful organization. And yeah, actually, he said, listen, go and get your education, become a doctor, come back, help the community, and do the architecture field. So I went to finish my education, graduated as a physician. The other thing that pushed me to go and do medicine is my best friend as a child, in my childhood, in seventh grade, he passed away from type 1 diabetes. So the memories, the picture that I had together, I felt I have to do something. If not to make a doctor, I have to do something in healthcare just to prevent children from diabetes. And that forced me to go into medicine. And, I like to be with people, communicate with patients, close to people, and listen to their complaints and habits. So this is what shaped my life. I enjoy what I do. So medicine was forced on me as a trauma as a child, losing my dad from disease and the depression. And I'm trying to prevent, at least in part of the prevention of these diseases and what do medication and to try to navigate the patient to get the best care as soon as possible to get treated. Currently, and it's treated, the success rate 80%. It's not a solution. At that time, if we can do two, less we have kids.
Does that mean you were born before 1982? Does that mean you were born before 1982? Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. My motivation for my entrepreneurial and business journey was my father and my father's story. My late father immigrated to the United States in '71. He started with nothing. Late '80s, he owned this huge factory in Brooklyn on 3rd Avenue. He was making bed sheets, comforters, pillows, and he was able to adapt to new things. When China products started coming to the US, he shut it down, moved on to the furniture business and retail business. And my late father was my motivation for my entrepreneurial path and story.
This is, I didn't say in my introduction, I'm married and have 8 kids, 10 grandkids. My goal was to have 10, but I couldn't find anybody who wanted to give me any more kids. Basically, growing up, I'm a Newark product. I grew up in North Newark, and I went to school there. And my intention was to be a professional football player. So that's why I went away to Minnesota. But after going there and not making it, I had to come up with another plan. So when I came back, I was working at Bloomfield and Newark school systems. The exact day, the exact day I came back, one of my relatives was there, and she had went through the professional accounting program at Rutgers. She was telling me, you got to go down there. And in this program, if you go down there, for sure, you will get a job at one of the largest accounting firms. You just work there 2 years and you're set for life because you'll have that experience and you'll have the prestige of working for them. I didn't listen. She came back a second time I was there. She said, did you go down there? I said, no. Finally, I went down. And because I was focusing on football, I always was a good reader. I was always a voracious reader. I would read everything in the library, whole sections. They finally sent me, as a child, they sent me to the adult section. And that's all I used to do. I would literally have 4 math classes from the time I was in junior high, high school, and college. I told them to try to only go to 4 math classes. But this was perfect for Rutgers. They don't want you to have any math. I mean, they don't want you to have any accounting. So I went to my class. They got two math program on 2 math courses. I did very well in them, and they still didn't want to let me in the program. So they said, okay, what you have to do is a cumulative program. Normally an MBA is 2 years, but this program is 15 months total, and it has a 5-week internship. Where even when I was there, I'm not gonna date myself and tell you, but we made $5,000. You make $5,000 in 5 weeks, and there were 40 days of breaks. So literally, you're cramming like 2 years of MBA curriculum down your throat in a year. So it was very competitive, and that's why the firms liked it. So I was able to go through, work out with the largest firm there. I worked in the best office in the firm, all through the grace of the Apostle Panama. I got very good clients. I came out, I worked at Chase, and then I I got tired of working in New York, so I worked in ADP for about 3 years. I went back to work at Citibank because I missed it, and I also worked when, on myself, you're gonna find out. When AT&T broke up, they were made because of uh, antitrust reasons. AT&T had to break up into Verizon and another firm that's not even around anymore. It's called Global. I was consulted on that, and I went into the office, and I saw the invoice my boss had, and I couldn't believe how much he was charging for me. I said, then if he's charging this amount for me and only giving me half, then I should be getting it all. And after that, I'm on the business for myself. So basically, the type of, to say that the type of, if you're going to be in an industry and you want to be able to eventually be an entrepreneur, this is the thing to do because as long as you have your experience and then you go out, there's always going to be something like my director told me. He said, "You'll never be rich, but you'll always have money." So that's what.
Thank you, Bill. What inspired me, I find it to sometimes be a hard question to answer because I don't necessarily know exactly what it was. Growing up, I never had a roadmap of wanting to become an attorney or wanting to get involved in real estate development. I started working at a young age and helping out my mom and my siblings at home. And I knew that I enjoyed working hard. I didn't mind waking up early. I didn't mind sleeping late. And it's, I think, that work ethic and it's that drive that opened up my eyes to possibilities and opportunities for me to be able to get out of that little circle that I was in at the time and expand on my knowledge and just kind of know that there are other possibilities out there. And it was also not being scared to ask questions, not being scared to fail, and meeting good people. I started off in retail. I managed Burger King. I managed a company called Bradley's, Rite Aid, at a very young age. I'm talking about like 16, 17, 18, 19. Then I got involved in real estate. I became a realtor with Remax, and I started selling some real estate. And people would ask me to help out with certain things, and they would say, "Do you know how to like develop?" I'm like, "Of course I know how to develop. I've never developed, but I wasn't afraid to like feel." And I think that's kind of the message, really, is to not be afraid, and to be able to not conform to what someone tells you you can and cannot do, and to be able to make mistakes and learn from your mistakes and fail. I failed many times throughout this whole process. There's one, I don't want to take too long on one question, but there's one story that I think inspired me. There was an attorney by the name of Norman Chidiak. Some of you may know him. God rest his soul. He passed during COVID. I was a real estate agent, and I went to his office one day. And by the way, I graduated high school barely. Like I graduated, my mom would beg me, "Please don't drop out, Yellow. Please, just for me, finish high school." I was in Clifton High School. I had transferred to Eastside High School because I was always getting kicked out from Clifton. And I graduated from Eastside High School. And I wasn't very studious. I would just kind of go there and just do my thing, just kind of get through. And it worked out. I graduated high school. So I would go to Norman Chidiak's office as a realtor to refer a deal to him so he could be the attorney representing the buyer and seller. And Norman one day says, "Abdul, why don't you go to law school and become an attorney, and I'll give you my practice when I'm ready to retire." And I said, "Norman, I only have a high school diploma. I don't even have a college diploma to be able to go to law school." He said, okay, how old are you? And I believe at the time I was 23 years old. And I said, I'm 23. He said, well, undergrad is 4 years, law school is 4 years, 23 plus 8, you'll be 31 when you're done. I said, okay. He said, and when you're 31 and you look back, the 8 years have already passed, regardless of whether you went to school or you didn't go to school. So at least when you look back, you did something good. So it was a simple thing that he said to me that if we all think about it, of course it makes sense, but it stayed with me. So 23 went, 24 went, 25 went, but that thought process stayed in my head. If I listened to no one, I would have been 1 year done. I would have been 2 years done. And I think when the real estate market kind of took a turn in 2007, 8, I got nervous. I saw people that were in the business for a long time that went out from selling real estate. They went to car dealers. Nothing wrong with that. But they were 50, 60 years old. They were in one industry. They had to switch over. And that inspired me to sign up and say I was going to do it. So I did go to college, William Paterson University at night. And I subsequently went to Seton Hall Law School at night. And I got my degree. And I was able to, practice law and continue. As I was doing that, my real estate practice kind of grew from selling real estate into more of a real estate development firm. And alhamdulillah, Allah blessed me to be able to do what I'm doing today.
Thank you.
Before we move on, I realized I only answered half the question. And that was the question of how I got to architecture. To answer how I got into opening my own firm, it was an evolution over time. I was actually never really interested in it. I did not have any motivation to own my own firm or anything like that. But what happened was, so I had a regular 9-to-5 job in New York City. And I had it during COVID, but at the start of COVID and through COVID. And what I realized at the time, my daughter was around 9 months old or so, or a year old. And I realized that I was out of the house from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Even though it's an 8-hour job, but with the commute and everything, I was basically not seeing her. And so that really planted the seeds. What if first option that came to me was what if I find a block closer to home? So I started searching, and that was actually when COVID hit. So that just shut the door on that completely. And I kept with my 9-to-5 for another year or two, and then I decided, you know what, the best thing to do is just start it on my own. I had a lot of encouragement from family, particularly my wife, as well as my father-in-law, who's a real estate broker. I felt comfortable enough that I would be able to get at least a couple of clients, and then maybe grow something that way, and that's how it's been since then.
Okay. Okay, we have 2 more questions, but let's be a little bit quicker with that, so we have the Q&A with that. Okay, so how has being part of our community shaped your entrepreneurial journey? So in what ways has it influenced your business, and why do you think it's important for our community to continue fostering and supporting entrepreneurs?
Thank you. I think our community is one of my biggest strengths. When I first started off in real estate, that alone gave me legitimacy. A lot of people would advertise, they would go out, they would do different types of marketing. Me being from the community itself, a lot of people automatically said, oh, he's our realtor. So if it wasn't for the community believing in me, trusting me, giving me that drive and the motivation, I think maybe, I probably wouldn't have been able to grow the business the way I did. And I think it's in everyone's interest for seeing and cheering on other members of the community. Because if a door opens for me, I can hopefully open it for someone else that's in the community. And that, continue for hopefully many generations. But that's how a community expands. That's how they become stronger. That's how we have a bigger voice. That's how we can become part of the story. So I think if it wasn't for our community giving me and being my backbone, I wouldn't have been able to contribute and do things the way I do today.
My experience is a little different because I started as I said, I started on my own, and maybe a couple of years after being on my own, after I left the consulting job at AT&T, I had a friend who, you all know each other, where I rented my office. He kept telling me, look, they have an office on the second floor, so why don't you go there and offer? It's not going to be, it would be a lot of money, and you know, you'll be able to establish yourself a little bit more. Um, just that I was next to hanging out with Dollar, me a lot, you know, be wide. I mean, and so I went there, and just everybody I know in this room, and a lot more came through that. I was praying at Masjid Umar, even when they were on Madison, before they bought the church to where they're at now, and the place that they've made into the masjid now. I was at ICPC a lot. I was able to do a lot of things. So I think that having this community very much is supportive of entrepreneurs, because most of the community is entrepreneurs. Most of the people want to be entrepreneurs. The only thing that I see is that people don't work together, say, to make, because I was taught that basically, if you have a firm, and let's just say the most you can make as a one person is going to be $100,000. If you try to make more than $100,000 one person, you're not going to give the people what they deserve, and your business is going to suffer. But if you combine with people and make 2 or 3 at the same time, you'll be able to increase your income exponentially. So maybe 3 people can gross like maybe $750,000 or $1 million, just by way of hypothetical figures. So basically, uh, this community, being entrepreneurial, has really helped me a lot. And also too, from the people I know, I mentor a lot of the people's sons. I talk to them about it. And I just want to say this before I have a chance. People really don't know the gold mine, Rutgers, NJIT, and Essex County that they have down there. They have all of these joint. If you go to NJIT, you automatically take Rutgers, vice versa. If you want to make your master's here, you can do that. So again, this is a very, very unique place. In fact, this whole area is unique. There's no place in the world like the Newark area, Clifton, Paterson, and New York, all in one area. We can be in New York in 20, 25 minutes. For people who drive faster, 30, 45 minutes. Makes more sense. You can be in Times Square. There's no place like this in the world. So I think it's good that we preserve it. I think it's good that we stay here and benefit from it. So I benefited from it greatly. I benefited from greatly. At least half of my business is from here. Even though my office is not here anymore, even though I closed it, I still find myself over here half the time.
The community, honestly, that's the greatest question out of all the questions. I would like to give my success to this community and to Allah. I moved out here 6 years ago from Queens, and the first food idea that we had was Chocolate House. And we wanted to open it in Manhattan, in Brooklyn, in New York somewhere. And after moving over here and getting to meet some people in this community, me and my managing partner were like, why don't we just do it over here in Paterson on Main Street? Let's try it out. We know it's COVID. Everybody's telling us, don't do it. Nobody's opening new businesses. You guys will lose your money. You will fail miserably. We started the first business, Chocolate House, on Main Street. Because of this community, it was very successful. And we started all of our other brands, Chocolate House, Slab Burger, Yaffa, Coffee and Kanafa, and Duke's in Paterson or in Clifton on the border on Crooks or Main Street. And now we're in many cities all across New York and New Jersey, opening in a bunch of states nationwide, all thanks to Paterson. People from the community, they come to you, they give you constructive criticism, they support you, they stand with you. This community is honestly one of the greatest communities I've ever been in. I was born and raised in Jamaica, Queens. Half of it was in Queens, and the other half was in Messiah and Palestine. And Paterson is like home. I've only been here for 6 years, but it feels like I've been here forever, me and my whole family. One thing about this community, like Dr. Sami Zena, one of the great people of this community, is a few years ago, one of my employees comes to me and tells me, Hazem, I don't understand the diagnosis of my son. this and that. I was like, I don't know any doctors up here, but I heard of Paterson. He's a great community leader, great community person over here. I called him. He's like, come to the office 10 p.m., middle of the night. We go over there, he helps him, he walks him through everything. So this is just one little example out of the many examples I can give about this community. And why should we foster new entrepreneurs in our community? I'm the purest example. 6 years ago, one brand, we have 4 brands going nationwide. So I'm the purest reason why, an example why we should foster new entrepreneurs in our community, support them, give them constructive criticism, stand with them, help them. And I want to thank this community for that.
So after I graduated my residency program 2012 from St. Joseph Hospital, I moved on to Pennsylvania. If you're familiar with Pennsylvania, it's a huge state. There's not a lot of people. I used to drive 20 minutes from my house in Berwick, Pennsylvania, 2 hours away from Paterson, 2 hours and a half, 80 west. So in the middle of the woods, I used to see more cows than patients. So I was bored. I was with my family. They were not comfortable to live there. I was like, I'm gonna come back. So I called St. Joseph Hospital just to give you an idea what happened. So St. Joseph said we are underserved, our community underserved in primary care physicians in 2012. So I moved on. I invested in my practice, and the community was very welcoming to me and to my family. So the community is my family. I felt like I am out of the comfort zone when I moved there. So when I came back, alhamdulillah, I was able to help my community. The best thing I felt that the community coming to me and trusting me on the most and the best and the most valuable thing to trust, which is their health. So the best investment in their life they given to me in my hand is what I could give them back. So the trust between me and the community and my patient is nothing to explain. It's a relationship between the community when they come to their physician and give the health of their children, moms, and themselves. So it's not about the money, how much we invest and how much we collected from the community. Some primary care make more money working for the hospitals. Less hours, less phone calls, 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Dr. Zaina, my child have fever. Hey, Dr. Zaina, my child's not having bowel movement. Hey, Dr. Zaina, my child fall. Hey, Dr. Zaina, my dad have a cough. Hey, Dr. Zaina, my aunt overseas have. So all of this as a primary care, it's a trust, it's a relationship, not the value, how much we invested money in the community and the community invested in us. It's just the relationship between the physician-patient relationship and the trust. And I believe in one thing is the best investment is the best wealth is your health. So invest in your health, invest in your primary care. And really, I want to thank PAC for the excellent job that they did to the community. They shaped this community, ICBC, PAC, and South Paterson Business Association. They shaped this community and they helped us always. They navigated us. And I appreciate them. And I'm thankful for all the members of the community who is our investment. So every child and every member of this community is the treasure. And that's the entrepreneurship that we have and we should support.
Okay, sure. The truth is,
Thank
after
you.
one support of my family, without the community, I wouldn't be able to exist as I exist now. Some of the greatest advantages that the community does give me as an architect who's rolling into a firm is we have a very excellent community. So if you get a client from the community, the advertising that will do for you goes by like you wouldn't even tell. You get a phone call randomly one day, like, hey, listen, so and so, I'm looking for an architect, so and so recommended you to me. Can we work on this project? And so it's it's given me the opportunity to grow my business into what it is now. And I'm looking forward to how much more I can do.
Thank you. This last question will open the door for Q&A. So many professionals here may be thinking about starting their own business. What advice would you give someone looking to become an entrepreneur? And what's one lesson you wish you had known when you first started? Oh, let's start with you. You can have it.
So the advice that I would give is going to sound contradictory, but it's not. And that is, it's just do it, but plan for it. You know, do it as soon as you can, but don't rush it. Basically, don't be afraid of taking the step, but also be prepared for the step. And what that means is financially, you need to be able to support your family, especially if you have a family, if you have kids, and they survive on your income. You need to figure out, you know, you need to get to the nitty gritty and find out, you know, am I going to be able to feed them while I'm growing my business? At the same time, it's you gotta know what you're going into. It's very different kind of stress level than a 9-to-5 job. But at the same time, it opens doors that you didn't know could open, like flexibility. I'm able to attend my kids' school events very easily. If I don't feel like working one day, I can. I have the option to take that off. I don't have a boss that's going to recommend me for doing that. But at the same time, it's a higher stress level. If you don't work, you're not going to get paid. You know, the biggest difference that I've felt through this journey is that with a 9-to-5 job, it's comfortable, it's stable, it's less risk, but the reward is higher when you do your own thing. At the same time, the risk is higher. Some months you might make double the amount that you thought you would. Other months you'll make half of that. You gotta keep going.
First thing to do is to wake up early, say Bismillah, and keep on talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to be strong. Sometimes you get hit, you faint, you raise back up, you don't break, you keep going. Life is not always on your side, but Allah on your side. Also, never give up. If you're doing the right thing, never give up. And always invest in your health, your family, and your buy, don't lease. Own, don't borrow. Work hard. And consistency and resilience and insistence. If it's not in a short time, don't rush things. Give it time. If I want to be a physician, I will do extracurricular activities. I'll do some research. I will go shadow Dr. Zine. I will work harder. I will do courses to get my score a little bit higher. You don't have to be the best, but do the best. And you will succeed.
Advice that I would have for people starting up a new business is tawakkal ala Allah. Don't overthink it. Business to me depends what it's exactly you're trying to do, but business to me is just a puzzle that you have to put together. And starting a business as uh, as a small guy, as a small entrepreneur, as a startup, sometimes you have to be hands-on, jack of all trades. Learn some construction so you know how to deal with your contractor, you know the terms that they're using. Understand how to deal with your interior designer or architect. Do research, ask for help. Uh, at different levels, you'll have to be a different person. You'll have to be a marketing agency. You might have to be a chef. You might have to be a contractor. Starting something, you'll have to have many different personalities. And there's so many resources out there, free resources that you can get that people will help you with. You can go to somebody that you look up to, a successful person in your community, ask for help, ask for advice. If I wanted to get into real estate, I would not hesitate going up to him and getting some advice from him or any medical advice from Samir Zaina Doctorna. So don't be shy, don't be afraid to ask people around you for help. And again, business is just a puzzle. Try to put your idea into place, put the puzzle together, tawakkal ala Allah.
A lot of the generic points have already been made by these gentlemen here. Tawakkal ala Allah for sure. And know that whatever you're going to get, you're going to get, and no one can take it away from you if you're supposed to get it. I just would say that, number one, before you become an entrepreneur, your skill set in your particular area should be high. It should be at maybe 80, 90% of what you need to be, or what you need to know in skills. Because you're not going to have time to learn any new skills. You're going to have to, as this brother said, you're going to have to learn marketing, you're going to have to learn dealing with people. And really, you're going to have to learn how to delegate. And a lot of people don't have that ability. They want to do everything themselves. They'll see somebody mopping the floor, grab the mop out of their hands and start showing them how to do it. If you do that, show them once and don't do it anymore. Let them know how. You may have to show them the first time and then develop them so they can do that. And you can concentrate on other things. You have to learn how to delegate. You have to learn how to deal with people. People yelling at you, people being angry at you, and you still be able to render the service. I mean, I'm not saying you should let yourself be abused physically or anything like that, but having patience and having sabr with people, people really appreciate that. Because they realize that when they go back, they realize they were wrong, and they really appreciate it. Also, when you do a project, this one brother told me he was a dentist, and he says as soon as for every job he does, he says Bismillah. And if you do that, you will always have, you think of Allah at all times, and you'll do your best. Give everybody your best. And basically everything else will take care of itself. But just know, have your skill have a skill level high. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Me, I'm an accountant, and I'm a part of the New Jersey Society of CPAs. There are people here that are very, very experienced. Number one, I'm only a black person there, and for sure, only Muslim person. So everybody knows me. And I got about 4 or 5 Yahudis who are like the top. And anytime I call them, they take my call. And they tell me exactly what I need to do. If it's something, don't be scared to ask. No one knows everything.
Yeah, you can give it to them.
And a person who does know everything, you shouldn't be in business with them. So it's a lot that can be said. Shukran, Habib. So there's a lot that can be said, but just keep those on. And as the brother said, tawakkal ala Allah, and know that whatever you have is going to come to you.
Thank you, Phil. My advice, I would say, is that's what guided me, I think, is to not wait and to kind of get to a point where you feel like you must be ready. Everything has to be checked off before I get to become an entrepreneur or start. Um, I know in terms of, tawakkul, I think that's part of tawakkul, inshallah. So, but in a very general, generic sense, if you have an idea, if you believe in your idea, if you feel like this is something you want to do, I would say go for it. Naturally, don't gamble, but if it's a calculated risk, go for it. Another thing I learned in business is your reputation is your single biggest asset. So try to, say or mean what you say, do what you promise. Naturally, being an entrepreneur, you get overwhelmed easily when you're in a smaller practice because you're trying to wear so many hats, as Hazem mentioned, and it's true. And it does overwhelm you. And a lot of things fall through the cracks. I'm very guilty of that. A lot of people say, hey, you told me you're going to call me 5 minutes 6 days ago. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I forgot. So, but your reputation is your single most important asset. And the last is don't be afraid to fail. Every failure comes with a lesson, and it's usually a good lesson that's gonna help you succeed, inshallah, in a more significant way in the future. And yeah, definitely ask everyone and don't be afraid. Be careful what you say, what you share. Some people unfortunately don't want to help. So I guess just be cognizant of who you share information with and what you do. So, thanks.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Yasmin.
No,
Just one
you're
point.
good. You're good.
I meant to add that as a person with a tax background, being in business for yourself is the best way you can live in this country. The country's laws, the country's tax laws, everything is based upon you owning property and being in business for yourself. If you're not doing those things, you can't enjoy this country the way that other people are and the best people enjoy it. Um, yeah,
And speaking of entrepreneurship, we have Saeed here taking pictures with us. I saw him putting up some of his beautiful artwork in the front. So on your way out, please support him.
Thank you. Oh my God, sorry. Oh my God, sorry.
That's the Saeed effect.
No, not me.
Not me.
No. Is this okay?
Perfect.
Good? Okay, sorry. Another round of applause for our speakers. Thank you so much for coming. I want to open the floor now for questions, and I'm gonna pass the mic so everyone can hear. So I saw your hand first. Oh, I'm sorry. Should we like give him the mic or? Oh, maybe this one's open. No, that one doesn't work.
Close.
Hello? Yeah, yeah. He had his hand. يمكن من hand? No, I think it was from me.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for the presentation. For all you guys, can you maybe give like three values that like represent you? Like an example, like for me, like my values is like respect, teach and tell.
Doc, go for it. Speak on our behalf.
Don't try,
Mhm.
listen to others, think.
That was good. I think somebody over here had a question. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Sir.
Thank you so much for this wonderful panel. Of course, we enjoy it for your insightful ideas. So my question is related to your last question to them, which is why don't we turn this into practical solution like investment funds, like why in the form of Islamic Sharia finance, like Mudarba, for example, which we can help this community. Everyone can put his share, and this can be managed, as you know. What do you think of this idea?
Are you in banking?
I'm an audit manager.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
There we go.
exactly.
I think there are platforms that exist, right?
yeah, there are. What your suggestion is?
I'm suggesting, of course, in the form of Islamic Sharia complaint like Mudarba, in which we can have investment funds, okay, like grouping funds or crowd funds, okay, which where everyone can share whatever he can share, and this can be managed by both big teams, like for example in real estate or for you, okay, and restaurants, okay, which you can group together, and this will help the community to grow faster because not everyone can start his own business alone, okay, and in terms of experience, in terms of money, other factors. So why we don't you turn it into a practical solution like this? We can put our money. This will help us to grow as a community, and also will help you to grow more as we can benefit each other. Thank you.
The suggestion you're making is 100% accurate. Theoretically, in practical terms, it's very, very difficult to implement. I've been part of why do we have a bank? We don't have a bank because what your suggestion will require a lot of trust. Really, the best thing, in fact, I'm going to be honest with you, I was going to go to the village and try to do a PhD. We don't have a bond. We don't have some bond. Can you financial person? Like people can buy church bonds, people can buy corporate bonds, municipal bonds. All of these things are money They give it to the city, to the government, and to corporations. They take that money and invest it, and they pay you back. No, no, brother. I'm saying we don't have that. We don't have a halal instrument like that. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. That's the question.
So we have a bond like that. We will be able to invest it. It will be very easy in this thing. What we do is to have, just like they have, they call it Ginnie Mae, Freddie Mac, and things. They give the mortgage, and then they take the mortgages and put them together and make security, and people invest in it. Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that? If people have money in our community, don't really trust something coming from our community, like something like that. So yes, it's something that we should do. It's something that we can do. But it's going to require trust. We have the maturity that we want. I'm going to give you another example. With all these doctors that we have, this is not a person that you- why don't we have a hospital? Why don't we have all of our doctors working in St. Maria's hospital? I thought we were going to buy St. Barnett's. On Broadway, when we went out of business, we could afford that. But all our doctors, all the Pakistani doctors, the Indian doctors, the Arab doctors, they didn't work there. They didn't have it. Because they don't have trust in each other. And I'm not saying that's a good or bad, but we have to mature toward it. So that's just.
Oh, I think I saw somebody's hand over there. I'm just gonna put this here for sound purposes.
Who's asking the question? Oh,
Who has the mic?
go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum
I
assalam.
kind of have two questions, one for the accountant and one for the doctor. The accounting question is, what's the difference between a C corp and an S corp and an LLC? Which one gives you the best protection as far as liability is concerned? And doctor is, what do you think about the holistic approach to medicine or the natural remedies that everybody's talking about? And does it really work or not?
This one to the next question. SC and LLCs are all corporations, different type of corporations. The corporations that are based upon the type of tax profile that you want to have, and the type of business you have. LLCs are really good for people who are single and maybe one or two partners. It's the easiest thing to administer. You don't have to have a payroll on it, and you can just take your money out and then pay the tax on the money at the end of the year. The S corp and the C corp are the C corp. I'll just hold it down. It's for really, really large companies that have a complex, capital structure, a lot of employees, and a very large business. The S corp is something that is called a pass-through, just like that. LLC can be a pass-through also if you have more than two partners, meaning that money comes into the corporation, it's passed through to the individual investor. The only difference between the S corp and the LLC is that the S corp, you have to have a payroll. The person who owns it must have a payroll. And the payroll has to be legitimate payroll. If it's not enough, they'll charge you what you should have paid yourself. So that's really it. They're all made so that you don't have liability. So if you have a business and I come in and I break my leg on your step, I can't sue you, I can only sue the corporation. It's basically for protection and also for tax profile. Tax profile you want to do, how you want to pay your money at the end of the year.
I just want to understand the question. You said conventional treatment or holistic approach. So medicine is broad. So there is the disease of mind, there is the somatic disease, and there is the disease of soul. So as العقل is to be the same الجسد, body, soul, and brain. So the conventional method of treatment, the classical medicine, the NGOs, the nursing, the pharmacy, the dentist, it's all, it has approach to treatment, for example, of certain disease or symptom. First of all, you need to diagnose it. Then, before that, you need to take also patient input. So, just you need to listen to the patient and then analyze, see if you need to pursue investigation, and then you keep physician. So this approach, this is the classical approach that we have. So you treat either with medication, either with physical therapy or with chemotherapy, radiation, surgery. That's the approach we have. The holistic approach is different. Some of it does not have evidence base or particular detailed study that everybody consented on. I'm not saying it's wrong, it's maybe not studied well or not consented on, depends on who approach it and what exactly specific thing we're talking about. For example, نظام الطيبات, everybody heard about the new diet. So the doctor, with all respect to him, he became an MD first before he approached it. So he became an internist, then he did his fellowship in, I think, critical care. Then he lost his license. Why? Because he did not follow the evidence base, the guidelines, and he didn't respect other people evidence base that has been helping many people. So if I come and change my diet to certain food, I may restrict certain food, I may lose certain nutrients, vitamins, and essential amino acid that important to my brain that may cause to lead to deficit. Holistic approach is not studied well, in my opinion. I'm MD doing traditional medicine, so not all of the studies uh, have. There is a evidence A, evidence B, and C recommendations that we follow. There is multiple organization does like AMA, American Heart Association, U.S. Preventive Task Forces, American Pediatric Association, ACOG. So there is multiple organization, and these organizations, they have studies, they run researches, they collected data, they did retrospective, double-blind studies. So to approach the patient, you need, as a physician, I could be holistic based physician and I could be a traditional, conventional MD physician treating with medication. I have to pick what's better for my patient. There is certain things in holistic I agree with. Why? Does not contradict with the evidence base on my traditional treatment. I tell the patient, you could do it, you could try it. There is no harm as far I know, but that's not the traditional treatment, for example, for chemotherapy. That's not the treatment for diabetes. Don't take your insulin, just restrict these diets and you will be fine. End up, for example, and you cannot propaganda it. So it's like alcohol. You cannot come and say, okay, restriction of alcohol. Who determines the amount of alcohol that the patient should drink to say this is good for you or this is bad for you? As a physician, I cannot tell you, drink a little bit. I don't know what's a little bit for you. So for me, I don't recommend it. So I say, do not drink is better than drinking. So this is an example. So regard, there is a lot of doctor who's doing it, but I tell my patient always, do your own research. You a doctor to yourself. So I do the recommendation, I follow guidelines, but I'll never put myself in the patient's shoes. I let the patient take his decision. But if it's harm, I have to advise him, do not harm yourself. Do not harm. Number one, as a physician, do not harm. There is a lot of doctor using holistic as a trend social media, magnesium citrate, magnesium malate, magnesium, and I see them on the social media. They come to me with the side effect of this magnesium that they are telling everybody, if you want to relax, do this. Deficiency of magnesium is so rare only in alcoholics. So why you doing extra magnesium supplement? And you do it where? In the social media. So everybody just sitting on their phone and say, I want to take, Dr. Zaina, can you prescribe me magnesium citrate? I was like, do you know why is this? Why you have are you alcoholic? Are you, why? And I check their magnesium, I say normal. I say, oh, I've been taking this magnesium for 3 weeks. It's so high. I feel, a little bit loose bowel movement. I was like, yeah, there is side effect for everything. Balance everything. Do not follow the social media. Ask your physician and primary care provider and take the best advice. So regarding holistic, there is physicians who does only holistic medicine. I respect them. But as again, every advice they give you, even a conventional physician, do research, use the social media, use just to get a little bit evidence. But follow the best guidelines is U.S. Preventive Task Forces, American Heart Association, American Medical Association, American Pediatric Association, and follow the guideline. CDC, just search CDC and get the information about the new, for example, they're talking about the bacteria that in the lettuce right now. Everybody say don't eat salad, yeah? So do search, educate yourself about it, know the side effect, know the symptoms, and call your physician and advice. If he want to treat you holistically, it's fine. Just see what he's gonna give you, what herbs, what style of meditation he gonna give you, whatever advice he wanna do, and make sure it doesn't harm you. So number one, do not harm. I tell all the physicians, do not harm, and I tell the patient, do not harm yourself.
Thank you. I'm just going to leave us with 2 questions so that we can have time for everyone to speak one-on-one with the speakers and also go to the vendors. I know Rania had one. And then
First, I want to say thank you so much. I want to also say that every single one of these panelists have given so much to PAC. And I always say businesses are a huge part of why PAC is successful because they support in every way possible. They support with their time, their money, their resources. And it's always like a lot of people that come from out of state always are like, how are you guys successful? I'm like, we have such amazing businesses here that really put their words and their money behind their actions. And we're so, so grateful for every single one of you and all that you offer to our community and to PAC specifically. So thank you. That's first. Yes, give them a round of applause. Second, I have 2 questions. I'm not going to ask him a question. So my 2 questions are first, what would you say was your biggest struggle building your business? And second, what would you say about the work-life balance? Because I know especially when you're doing your own business, that could be almost impossible.
I'm going to answer it anyway. In terms of the work-life balance, it's very different. Working a 9 to 5, for me, it was very easy. Once 5 o'clock hit, I was out of the office. I turned off my phone. It was very easy to completely shut that part of my brain off. I didn't worry about it when I left on Friday evenings. Didn't even think about work until Monday morning. When you have your own thing, it's completely different. Your brain is always working. After praying Fajr, sometimes I'll go to sleep and I just can't sleep anymore because my brain is now on and thinking, okay, I need to do this for this client. I got to do this. I got to do that. And so I end up, forget it. I'm not going to sleep and I just go and hop on my computer and start doing stuff.
Sure, I'll try. In terms of a life-work balance, I think it kind of gets clouded, especially when you are involved and you have a smaller business and you're trying to grow it. And for me, I maybe didn't feel it so much because of my family at home is supportive. My wife doesn't necessarily make me feel guilty for being on my phone all day, every day. And so as much as I would like to think I give my family the time that, I don't know that you can never give enough time, but I think it's really a big gray area for me. I never feel that I can ever set the line and say this is our work-life balance. I'm always working, even when I'm home, but I'm always available for my family, even when I'm at work. And I think they kind of balance each other off when you're an entrepreneur. If you need to maybe shut your phone off for a day or two or a few days and go away, maybe you can do that when you can't, if you're working 9 to 5 job. And likewise, when you're at home at night, if a client calls, as an attorney, we do also some criminal law. A lot of things happen at night. People call often, and you have to sometimes be available. So as long as you have an understanding family, I think that works. In terms of a struggle, what do you said in your own business?
Your biggest struggle you've had.
Oh, you got it. Biggest struggle, I think it's being able to find time, really. Being able to find time to satisfy your business needs, your clients, and your family, and it's really where it kind of works off of what the first question was. It's work-life balance. Being able to create that work-life balance and manage it in a way where it doesn't overcome you and still maintain a successful business. That's my perspective.
Very quickly, the biggest challenge I have, some of the things that Abdul mentioned, but also too, being a numbers guy, you have to look at your clientele, and there are two ways you can look at ways to make money with your income. Either it can be quantity, or it can be price. If you're going to have a lot of clients, you're not going to be charging them a lot. You're going to be working very hard. And when you first start, that's what you're going to be doing, choosing quantity. And you're going to get a lot of headaches from that. As time goes on, the biggest thing was being able to transition from quantity to quality. You have less clients, you're able to do more work with them. You give them better time. The family aspect is very, very, very important. If you're working for yourself, you have a lot of flexibility. You can go to your house and come back. It's not like you're working at 9 to 5, so you have that. But like I had a big challenge. One of my wives contracted cancer, which is why I don't have an office in Paterson anymore. Because I was 20 minutes from Montclair, so I just closed the office in Paterson and stayed with her. So you have some challenges with your home in that regard. But that's really the biggest things that I could encounter.
As an entrepreneur, I don't think there's any such thing as work-life balance. It gets better with time, though. It does get better with time. In the beginning, there is no such thing as work-life balance. As you grow with your team, as you learn how to trust and delegate, you get to spend more time with your family and doing the things that you like. But really it's never really a work-life balance if you're an entrepreneur. But it does get better.
Or, of course, as a physician, there is no balance at all. You don't have personal life, so you try your best, you do your best, as I said, but you don't have to be the best. Just be available for your patient. So be available for your patient and answer. Your answering service 2 o'clock in the morning, doesn't matter. Jump in to the patient when he needs you, when he have a COVID in the room. There is no way thinking about how many children waiting for you home. So know that saving somebody's life is a privilege. With the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let me try to save somebody's life. So I went to these COVID rooms, and when I went in, I was thinking about how many kids am I gonna leave the room without a disease or not. So when you pick the physician job, know that your time is not for you. Your time for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just keep going, do your best, and try to balance. We do try. The best thing that I am lucky with is to have a wonderful, understanding wife. When I leave the home running 2 o'clock in the morning when my patient had heart attack or stroke, when I had to do 36 hours straight in the hospital, not coming home. She's with my breastfeed children, and so lucky to have a wonderful. The best balance I had is that having wonderful wife who understood me and helped me.
That's the key to success. Of course, Murad is a mic. We can say that, Murad.
I don't think that's the mic.
No, let's give it to you anyway.
Assalamu alaikum. Chat out.
Assalamu alaikum. I firstly want to thank each one of you for making the time to be here tonight. So thank you so much. My question is, when I heard each one of your story, success story, I heard each one of you giving credit to the community somehow. So the community was behind you. The community give you that support to be who you are. So, I've been involved in this community for a long time. And I'm trying to hold you accountable for this now, okay? So the question is, what you have done to this community that really stood behind you and give you all this support. And you think, are we doing enough? Or there is more to do? And what is it? Thank you.
Right. I want to shout out Amara as the president of the South Patterson Business Association, and who also confirmed all our wonderful panelists. So thank you, Amara.
Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Hajj Bader.
I also want to say Abdul Nasser is the one who helped fund the museum, so I think I already answered his question.
Thank you. The community becomes part of your identity at some point in time. And I think I say this a lot to my children and to my non-Arab friends. When, for example, I'm not a soccer fan, but when the World Cup was happening, I think I may have text like, who are we rooting for today? Meaning, who's not anti-Israel, who's not anti-Palestine, who's not pro-Israel, so I know who to support that day. So you never think on your own because of some selfish way. You think in a more general groupistic kind of mentality. What's best for the community? What's best for Palestine? And that's in terms of what we do for our community. We have to always advocate on behalf of our community. We can't think in a selfish way, and we can never do enough for the community. I think we work and we strive to be better members of the community. You hope to become a role model. You hope to inspire someone in the community, and inshallah, by continuing to work as a team, collectively, working together, inshallah, we can always grow the community more.
I just want to say very quickly that in terms of being a part of the community, it's kind of a hard question to answer. What has the community done? It really is everything. You're part of a community, especially like this. I feel very comfortable here. I've been made to feel very comfortable here. As I said, I was going to my office and praying every day in Masjid Ummah. I was a part of the community there. In fact, they used to get on me and call me lazy. They said I never come to Fajr, I come out, I sleep in the bed. I said, no, I don't live in Paterson, I live in Montclair. I pray there in the morning. So people could come and feel comfortable doing that to me. I always had it good. They said, well, he's a good brother. And I asked them, brother, why does he have a good brother? They said, that's all I do is say Assalamu alaikum and go back. They said, that's why you're a good brother, because you don't say that. So alhamdulillah, I feel very comfortable here. Alhamdulillah, everybody made me feel comfortable. So I don't know what I can say. I guess that's what I've been made to feel very comfortable here. And my relationship here has served me well. And alhamdulillah, I'm glad that Allah introduced me to it.
What I have done for the community is not enough. There's always more to do. My businesses did partner with PAC, ICPC, and Ummah, but our main goal since coming into Paterson was changing everybody's idea and perspective of Paterson and our community over here. Outsiders don't come much to Paterson. They think of it as a dangerous neighborhood, as a bad neighborhood. So every time we get famous social media content creators that come and promote our businesses, we try to have them mention that this is like on Main Street in Paterson, a very safe, family-friendly, welcoming neighborhood, great people, just so we can get more outsiders to come into Paterson since we have become like a hub for a lot of visitors from out of town to come into our community, feel safe, feel welcome, and
I'll be short this time. Never enough to give to the community. This is, we far away from our beloved Palestine, but Palestine lives in our heart and inside of us because of this community. I go into Jaffa, I see every Palestinian symbol and every Palestinian sign and poems and the history of Jaffa and the picture, the Palestinian flag, make us proud. I go to Manaish, I see all the historical pictures, makes me feel that I am in Palestine. I want to thank every single member of this community for the support that I received. And no matter how much I will give back, it will never be enough. Thank you, guys.
I mean, I definitely agree. It's never enough. What I try to do for the community, for PAC specifically, I started out here as a handyman. I installed the bidets in the bathrooms, the thermostats, stuff like that. I've been relieved of that role. Now, whenever I can consult on anything they need architecturally and stuff like that, I do that, obviously. For the community members themselves, I try to be as flexible as I can with like pricing and stuff like that, for example. Also, whenever someone seeks recommendations from me for contractors, GCs, or specific tradespeople, I recommend people from the community pretty much exclusively. And it's just to try and make the community grow as much as possible.
Thank you so much to our speakers. Let's clap our hands for them one more time. So I want to give everybody the chance to speak to the speakers one-on-one. I know that there's a table outside for some of the speakers brought some stuff with them, and if anyone wants to do one-on-one. I want to thank you guys again and shout out to Chocolate House, Slapburger, Manakish. Their grand opening is tomorrow. We'll all go and support them, inshallah. What time?
3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. And what is it?
No, I mean, it's 141 Cripstown in Paterson. And a shout out to Yasmin for being an amazing moderator. Thank you, Yasmin. And she made the questions super easy for us on purpose, so thank you.
I just want to shout out again, each and every single one of these people have been very integral to our story at PAC. And not only like through the support through Palestine Way, anytime, I know Hassan, we bought him all the time for donations of gift cards for our staff or different suites, and they're always there. Dr. Samir Zana is also the president of the National Network of Arab American Medical Association, and we're always partnering with them. They're doing such amazing work, and they fundraise so much money for Gaza. And like I said, Abdel Nasser, I think, is always super humble, but he's always our #1 supporter in every single way. He fronted most of the cost for the museum that inshallah will be coming in 2027. And I always say that he's the man that puts his money where his words are. He's always backing us up in every way. And Imam Kevin, that was always with us and working with us in every way. And then that's my husband. Honestly, just me doing my job, that's huge support. So, and he is our #1 handyman. So thank you all. Thank you to these wonderful business owners. I think the #1 thing I want to take from you all is that not only are they pouring into their business, but they're pouring back into the community. And they may be too humble to shout out all the amazing things that they're doing, but I'm gonna tell you every single one of these people have the community at the heart of what they're doing, at the top of their mind, and always finding ways to give back, whether it's through their resources, whether it's through their money, whether it's through their family. And I think that that's the number one reason why we should emulate these wonderful business owners. And I know they're also very much open to mentorships. So if anyone has any questions, this is your time to ask. I also want to give a shout out to Ummah Professionals for helping organize this beautiful event, and the beautiful South Paterson Business Association, our partners in so many different things. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you guys so much.